Hey everyone, thank you for coming back for yet another interview with another YouTuber who has a very similar niche when it comes to creating audio dramas or anything else alike, and his name is Gamebox. As you can see right here, I have his personal website right here in the open. You can check that out to see some artwork showcase or some other contact information where you can find him and that's who is on the other end right now. How you doing, Gamebox?
I'm doing really good. How about you?
Doing all right.
That's great.
So, without further ado, let us get into this interview. First question is a very obvious one. What sparked your interest in audio dramas?
Well, at the very beginning, it was always that idea where it's like, because when I first started telling stories, it was like, okay, what can I do to get my ideas over to the audience? Because back when, yeah, I think this was like roughly around when COVID started, like early March of 22. No, no, sorry, I can't speak today. But it was early March 2020, and I started off doing some written work, which was on Storyfire. I believe that's now defunct. But what really sparked the idea with like doing radio dramas was I was just simply browsing YouTube, and then I see a couple of radio dramas like Sonic and Tails R by Emmy Jones and Paper Mario: The Rise of Voldemort, which was created by JSA. Sorry, I can't speak. GSA King 11. And after listening to them, it's like, huh, you can create works only using the audio. That's really fascinating in a way. So I decided to like start off with some audiobooks, like just boring creepy pastas, which was what the Man Blue was. Really bad attempt at it, by the way. But yeah, it was basically just finding out the idea where you can just create stories with visuals only, and it's like, huh, very interesting.
Yeah, that is true. I just tackled that myself throughout the years, and even I didn't know that there are other people out there doing this sort of thing. Especially with you. When I saw you
Mm.
share my interview with Wyman Games, and then I checked out your channel, I'm like, oh, there's another one. Okay, let's see what he's made of.
Mhm. Wyman's he's a good guy. He can get on my nerves, but he's a good guy.
Oh goodness. All right.
Sorry, Wyman.
No, no. Everyone's different.
Oh yeah.
All right. Second question is I mean, I think you may have already um, answered this question. Like, what inspired you to create audio dramas of your own? So we're ahead.
Mm. It's actually really weird because whenever I'm doing research for like telling stories, it's like it's always been movies and TV shows, like stuff you can see visually, but it's always been what can I tell, what story can I tell in more of an audio sense, if you know what I mean. And just finally giving it a shot with episode 1 of Sonic Protocol, it just made like it just hit. It's kind of really hard to say, but the moment like I started working on Protocol, it was like one of those things where, oh, okay, like the imagination just hits, which it was like one of the most fascinating ways of doing radio dramas and audiobooks, where it's like you can leave the imagination up to the viewer. And personally, for me, I think that's like really, really special.
So it's like a way to connect with them. Like, you write it in a way where you're just having fun with the viewers and just letting them figure it all out,
Mhm.
if I'm correct.
Yeah, absolutely. Even though like I did create some art for Sonic Protocol, but a lot of people can just look at that as just like a side piece. Whereas when I'm like doing the work, it's mainly, okay, so this is a Sonic radio drama and here's the visuals. you can you can use your imagination and see what the scene would play like. Like it could be like a giant lab, it could be a small little city, it can be something like that if you know what I mean.
And that's the kind of brain power I used when I listened to it myself,
Hmm.
and that was quite fun.
Oh yeah.
Now, this is more of a technical question. Like,
Yes.
how do you write your audio dramas? Like, does the script have a particular format for everyone involved to understand? Like, do you have a specific layout or key legend at the beginning or anything like that?
It's kind of a bit of a mix between writing a movie script and writing like a book, where the action will basically just lay out the scene like what you normally read in the book, and then the dialogue is just like formatted in script formats. Even though like I kind of word it or lay it out in a way of Celtics, it's mainly done through Google Docs, but it's always been like a mix where it's like, okay, so this is the scene that's taking place. Here's everything you need to know in order to get the atmosphere or the feeling of the scene so we can get the right deliveries and something like that.
Right. It does require a lot of detail if you want to get everything nailed down just right.
Yeah. And whenever I'm writing the scripts, this might be a bit weird, but I always envision it as like, okay, so if I'm trying to put through the the atmosphere of the scene, for example, what am I trying to achieve? Do I want to make it more of a intense mystery type scene? Do I want to make it a little bit more heartfelt? Do I want it to be a little bit more happy? It's always been a thing where it's like establish the setting and then here's what's happening in the scene.
All right, that's fair enough. But this is another technical question to kind of relate to it. Like when you start a
Mhm.
new audio drama, like how do you separate it from your previous work? Like, do you have a new goal set in mind? Do you have a new uh, kind of feel that you want to apply to it? Like, let's say the last one was all action adventure and everything was happy, and then all of a sudden you want to switch to horror to really build up a climax or something like that.
It would have to be done in a way that would make sense in order to make it kind of flow. Like if we're talking from one scene to another, it would always be how can we go from a really happy scene to a shock to like a really horror like scene? Because if it were like just to be here's a happy go lucky scene and then just instantly jumps into a horror type scene, it just kind of it breaks the mood. And that's why whenever the something like that is on the table, it's always okay. We've just finished a happy scene. How can we eventually build up to this horror scene? Because that's another thing I'm big into is build up. Because if you don't really have a lot of build up, it's one of those things where someone will be like, "Oh, okay, that's just happened," but okay,
All right,
it's just context, basically.
that's true. It's all about the story.
Hmm.
Now, was like, have you ever had an idea for your audio drama that was not able to work out? Like something that would have been better visually, but not really for sound? Like, let's say you come up with a really good scene and it plays perfectly inside your head, and you have to remind yourself it's just going to be sound. So, how are you going to pull this off? And then in post production, once everything's recorded and you try to mix it and then you play it out, it's like that didn't really turn out as good as I expected. Something like that.
Yeah, it's like that's another weird one because whenever like when sorry, I can't speak today. But it's always basically been with Sonic Protocol because when when Protocol started, it was basically under the title of Sonic Powers. Like it was a far different story, but the story was really, really generic and really bad. But
Dude, I don't want to tell you just how bad my earlier works were. So I can relate. Keep going. Keep going.
yeah. But like it wasn't even like the whole storybook thing. It's all like I even written it as a if it were to be like in a visual sense, it would have been in like a stop motion animation, which was like one of my favorite art forms. And the opening scene with young Sonic and Ovi Ovi Kintober, it would have been just mostly with the visual type scenes. Like it would have always been facial expressions, movement, sounds. Like obviously when you go back and listen to it, it will require like a lot of like imagining what the scene's gonna act like. But it's always got to keep in mind where it's like, okay, we can't do visuals here. What sounds can I use to make it give off the assumption that this is happening? Like that's been like a constant challenge, and it's basically a challenge. It's honestly a challenge that I'm looking forward to getting across because it can be really hard, but it's a lot of fun.
You are currently attempting to step up the game in some way, right?
Oh yeah, because currently with episode 2, it's mainly trying to figure out how can I make this a little bit more different, if you know what I mean. Because like obviously with fight scenes, there is the challenge of trying to add in well not as many sound effects as possible, but trying to add in the sound effects that kind of capture with what the scene's going for. Like with the whole Motobug fight with episode 1, it's been like a struggle where it's like, okay, I need to find like the engine revs because obviously like the Motobugs go on wheels, and it's like how do I accomplish that? So you go through looking over YouTube and other sound effects websites, and it's like, oh god, what can you find? Until eventually you just find a Vespa, and it's like, let me listen to that one. You listen to it, and it's, oh, that works, I'll take that one.
The hunt for sound effects will often be tedious.
Oh, it will.
Ah.
Sometimes improv comes into play.
Oh. All right. Now this is gonna be a fun rapid fire kind of thing. Name
Oh,
some voiceovers you've had on board. Some recurring voiceovers.
like in terms of people that I've had on my projects.
Yes.
Well, to start off, I've had Wyman Games for a long time. Like I've worked with him since ever since I've started actually. Like the moment I started on Storyfire, he's mainly been a big part of my work, and he's got like a big role in Sonic Protocol. I've had other people like I wouldn't really count them as voiceovers, but I would say they just helped out. Like you've got Mad Lad and you've got Dylan DeVille. And in terms of like the voice actors from Cast and Call and all the other projects that they've been relating to Sonic, you had JSA King, you had Thea Salone, you've had MC Voices, Katie Bird, Hokey Wolf 17, and trying to think, you've got Ngaro as well, who did a really great job as Robotnik. Trying to think. I've got such a bad memory today. Jalen Ackers. I really hope I'm getting that name right. I'm so sorry if he sees this and I'm getting the name wrong. Jesus.
I don't think he's ever heard of me, so you're fine. You're good.
Okay. And um I think that's who I've had so far, but soon I will be having Marcus Smith Plush Tube, part of Sonic Protocol as well as Pine Face, and they have done a fantastic job with what they're going to be doing for Protocol. Looking forward to showing it off.
Well, the first three voice actors whom you've mentioned, I've worked with them multiple times, so the
Hmm.
names come as no surprise.
Oh yeah, like the moment I hear them on the Cast and Call Club page, it's like, oh god, this is really good. I'll have to put them on the big favorites notes because I've got like on my notes application voices that could work with what I'm going for. And the moment I hear it, I'm like, yep, that works. I like this one. Yeah, I like that one. Oh, yeah, that's a good one. I like that one.
Sorry, my vent just turned on. I hope it doesn't get in the way of the recording. But
That's okay.
all right. So,
Oh wait,
uh,
there's another voice actor I forgot to mention. I'm so sorry. I feel disgusted not mentioning him. Is Chris Jose.
Chris Jose. I don't think I've ever known them. Where have you heard of him from?
He was part of Wyman's Sonic the Hedgehog project and Sonic Evolution as well. And he plays like a lot of extras as well. And when I heard that he was auditioning for the extras in Sonic Protocol, I was like, oh, that's really good. And then it became a thing where it's like, okay, you know what? I think with a very few extras I've got, like, there's going to be a lot of extra characters in Protocol, somewhat spoilers, but it's always been a thing where it's like I've got three extras, but I've got three extras for voice actors, but for characters there's going to be a lot of extras, so it's going to be like a big challenge for Chris and a bunch of the other extras like Jay's Arcades and stuff like that. Jay's another big one, and Gabe as well.
Alrighty. All right. Now we can get to the final question. Uh,
Yes.
Actually, there are two more. I had forgotten to write one
Okay.
down. The
That's okay.
next to last question is: do you have any current plans for future content? Anything on the agenda?
Well, it's mainly just going to be the same. Like, I would like to try and get Sonic Protocol out when its entirety. And I haven't really mentioned this to the cast yet, but I'm if they are up for it, I am thinking of creating two more sequels to it. But it just depends on if they're willing to come back, and it just depends if the story comes out really good. And yeah, it would just be the same with radio dramas and audiobooks because I just finished up with the Railway series and I'm hoping to create some works of my own, but they're all in the idea books.
Alrighty. All right. Now we can finally do the last question.
Yo, you're right.
Do you have any advice that you would like to give to anyone out there with a similar niche?
The one thing I will say to people who are looking to like write their own stories is that just give it a go. Um, like never have this because I've run into this trap before is never go into something with the idea of it being perfect or going for a perfect story because if you do that you are going to you're going to get a roadblock basically because like you can try and create like the best story that you've ever created. Just go into it and create something that you think is good. Go back to it. If you're not a fan of it, you can always change it. Just go into it thinking this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to give this a shot, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. It is what it is, but just always have just always have this in your head that you're going to do really well with your stories, and I believe in you with that one. Just again, give it a go. Go ahead.
Alrighty, well, folks, you heard it from the Gamebox right here now. So,
Yes. You did get a lot of stuttering from me.
no, I think I've been doing the worst stuttering and slips throughout this interview alone, because it's like, I'm not in it today. So, but thank you so much for the time spent on this interview. I really appreciate you answering these curious questions for everyone out there.
No problem at all. Glad to be here.
All right, so guys, if this really does pique your interest, be sure to check out Gamebox's website, his YouTube channel, his Instagram, his casting call club, or just about any other social that he has on that plate. And
I am everywhere.
he's everywhere. He's the ghost. um,
Yes, I am the ghost of Christmas past.
oh no. And I hope to see you all again sometime soon. Gamebox, you want to send them off?
Hope everyone has a fantastic evening, afternoon, morning, whatever it is. Hope you enjoyed your stay. One of my favorite catchphrases. Peace out, y'all.
All right. See y'all later.